this way. This way. Bless up ones and ones coming in. Give thanks. This is Empress April, author April E. Diggs, streaming live and direct from Portland Parish, Jamaica. And today we're going to read a little bit out of the first release in the trilogy series, Jamaica Journal in the Land of No Worries, Everything Ain't Irie. Okay, we're currently in Port Antonio, the town of Portland, Jamaica. And as you can see from the table of contents, Port Antonio is chapter 3 in this book. So we're gonna read some of this today. I did start reading some of it from the other day, so I will continue. Okay, so I can share with ones and ones what is inside of this book, okay? So bless up yourself. My name is author April E. Diggs. You can check for the book in my bio. And you also can go to www.aprilediggs.com. Okay? This is a trilogy series, and this is the first release in the trilogy series. This is the hardcover here. Okay? The hardback cover is definitely a collector's item. This is a 309-page novel. It's filled with pictures and images that I did take myself, so you can feel the fullness of Jamaica. Bless up ones and ones coming in. It's good to see you. Fire Red, how you feel? Give thanks for the likes. Yes, Jaja live. Okay, so we're gonna continue with the reading of this one. Okay, so make me drink some water. Okay. And as you can see, the book cover is so very exceptional, capturing the real heart of Jamaica. And I did sketch this, every book cover, I designed it myself. So everything you see is coming from me, okay? Blessed love locked in with Tisha. Blessed love. Okay, so you can see here we have the ganja, we have the famous purple flowers of Jamaica, we have the schoolgirls, of course, the Rasta man looking on me. We see the Jamaican flag, we see the falls in the background, we see the boats them, the glass bottom boats, we see the motorbikes, we see the jelly water, the real Jamaica, you see it? For ones and ones who've never been to Jamaica, once you read this book, you will have been to Jamaica. For ones and ones who currently reside in Jamaica, you will full enjoy yourself as you read this book. And those who plan to forward Jamaica, you can educate yourself and see what's really going on in the interior. As you can see, the title is Jamaica Journal, in the Land of No Worries, Everything Ain't Irie. So you know how it's always no worries man, everything irie. And true, you can feel this way. But let we get into the interior and the real runnings. You see it? Yeah. Give thanks for the likes, Fire Red. Bless up yourself. Okay? On the back of this book, you see the full map of Jamaica, all the parishes them here. Okay? So this takes you through the full of Jamaica, each parish, okay? And it's filled with so much. So let we go ahead and start reading. Bless up ones and ones coming in. It's good to see you. It's good to be seen. Yeah, man, it's hot. Yeah, but it's a good kind of hot. All right. So let we pick up. Make me know if everyone can hear me. Are you hearing me clear? Somebody tell me in the chat if you does hear me clear. ¿Es mi sonido claro? Tell me if you're hearing me. Very good. Fire Red, bless up yourself. Very, very good. Okay, so let's continue on where we did leave off from last time. Okay, yes, that is it. Cut and clear. That's how me like it. All right, I entered my quarters, turned on the fan, lit incense and a candle, took off my street clothes and lay under the white mesh mosquito net surrounding my head. I looked up in the air, thinking and breathing deeply as I drifted off to sleep. listening to the white noise of the fan. I awoke to the sounds of Peter Tosh, Wanted, Dead or Alive, blaring from the speakers of the bar downstairs. I got up, stretched, took my shower, freshened up, and put on a long white sundress, and went on the veranda to meet Revelina. I heard his voice along with another man's as I was inside getting dressed. They both smiled and greeted me. "Hail, my name Kissy." A short, skinny man with a broad Jamaican accent smiled as he held out his fist for me to pound. "Bless up, Kissy," I replied. "First time Jamaica?" he innocently asked. "Yeah," I said, even though it was not my first time in Jamaica. It was my first time in Portland Parish. Also, it was the first time I traveled around the entire island by myself. He smiled as that sounded like good news to him. "You wouldn't like going some tours? Have you been Nanny Falls? Have you been to the Rio Grande? Have you been Blue Lagoon yet?" I told him I had not been Nanny Falls. "Well, if you give me some gas funds, I'll be happy to take you on my bike." He pointed to the motorbike parked downstairs on the roadside. I glanced down and saw some men playing dominoes. "Nanny Falls, yeah?" I said. Kissy proceeded to tell me the history of the hills in Moortown Top, of the famous Nanny of the Maroons. She was an ancestor who was looked up to with great respect as she was able to navigate the hills and defeat the British with her spiritual gifts. Nanny helped many slaves escape, all while protecting, leading, preserving, maintaining the Maroon community and strategizing ways to defeat the oppressors. Nanny was a real natural mystic, comparable to what this in the States would know as Harriet Tubman or Queen Nyabingi of Uganda, another queen warrior who waged war against the colonizers, who also helped bring a lot of slaves to freedom. This Nanny skilled chieftainess and leader of the Maroon people had her own waterfall named after her, tucked away high in the Portland hills of Moortown Top, called Nanny Falls. It is said these were healing sacred waters where a lot of slaves came to recover for the beatings of cruel slave masters, replenished from being on the run and heal. This great ancestor, Nanny of the Maroons, is also the face of the Jamaican $500 bill. All right, so see it there? Let me know if you're seeing that. This is a picture of Nanny. Nanny is on the $500 bill. Okay? All right, sun is blazing red, so let me see what I go on in the chat. Okay, bless up yourself, Fire Red. Bless up yourself. At the sound of hearing this, I was filled with excitement as I love waterfalls, especially the history and healing waters. I let Kissy know I would gather my things and soon be ready to go. I packed up some things and threw up my black head wrap, a black bathing suit underneath, and a long wrap skirt with black sandals. I came down the stairs where Kissy awaited me with his motorbike revving up. We hopped on the bike and began to ride through the hills, rounding steep curves and letting the wild brush that overflowed into the roads graze my skin. As we passed by goat families of moms and dads and babies running free in the bush. Men were working on the roads while elderly ladies sat on their porches. Everyone seemed to stare as if they'd never seen the likes of me. It was so beautiful and mystical riding through Moortown. And see it there? There is a picture of Nanny. This is Nanny of the Maroons, head skilled chieftainess. Okay? Bless up ones and ones coming in. This is author April E. Diggs. I'm streaming live and direct from Portland Parish, Jamaica. And right now we're reading out of chapter 3 in the book, which is titled Port Antonio. Okay? So right now I'm taking you through the whole of Portland. Okay? So right now we're currently in Moortown Top and we're headed to Nanny Falls. All right, so as you can see, these nice pictures here. Sam Sharp, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Who else is there? Paul Boga. Okay, and then you can see the Maroon Town Cultural Center right there. This is the Cultural Center. Sure, probably you can't see them because the pictures is small, but That's why you need to go and get the book. See it? All right. Up, up, up. We went hugging the curvy round roads. One wrong move and we could easily go down. But Kissy seemed to handle these roads like it was second nature to him. We stopped at the grave of Nanny of the Maroons, which was a historical site where Nanny's tomb resides, called Bump Grave. Okay, so here is it right here. This is Bump Grave. This is Bump Grave right here. This is where Nanny of the Maroons laid to rest her body. Okay, Jano. Son a beat fire red. Fire red. Okay, dejamos continuar. Let us continue. Her burial site sits right there overlooking the hills at the peak of Moortown Top Mountain, overlooking the beautiful view. Across from Bump Grave, there is an elementary school lined with picture paintings of outside wall of great African ancestors such as Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Sam Sharp, Nanny, Frederick Douglass, etc. We proceeded up the hill some more. Kissy then turned left off the road. We went into a narrow patch surrounded by thick wild brush. The road was all dirt. This all we are get Nanny Falls, Kissy informed me. He motioned for me to get off the bike while he parked. We began to walk through the wild brush. There was a narrow path carved out through it all. We walked as I heard the sounds of all kinds of critters. We walked up through the wild bamboo, so large and brilliant. Bamboo growing so wild and thick. The walk proved to be rather slippery as it had rained the night before. There was also puddles everywhere. My long wrap-around skirt got caught on a branch sticking out from the brush and produced a small hole. I was beginning to get slightly irritated as every 5 minutes Kissy would say, "We soon reach, we soon reach." But it seemed we kept going and going. Plus I was not properly prepared and dressed for this hike. Kissy was casually navigating the hills and bumps and slippery slopes in flip-flops, as if it didn't faze him at all. Wow, I thought to myself, what a difference things makes when you're used to them. I knew Nanny Falls was a hidden historical treasure and that I was going to have to work to get there. All good things are not easily acquired. Plus, this was a hidden sacred place tucked away in the hills where our ancestors, by way of Nanny, took refuge and got some healing from the sacred waters of the falls. We continued on. I made sure to move at a steady pace and look down at every step. I took the use of Kissy's shoulder when it got rough. We passed a sign saying Nanny Falls this way, with an arrow pointing to the right of us. I knew that we were close. I heard the powerful thrust of the falls crashing. We came to a small creek running across the trail. We would have to walk across the rocks carefully. The only problem was there was so much algae on all the rocks, and under the creek was a huge dip. Kissy again rang in my ear. "No problem, man. We soon reach. We soon reach." He, of course, was already halfway across the creek, stretching out his hand to me. I was so nervous about possibly slipping. I took a deep breath, pulled up my skirt in one hand, and stepped across to meet the first rock. I grabbed Kissy's hand and let him gently lead the way. All right, so see it there? We see the sign for Nanny Falls, okay? And this is the thick bush, the thick brush, okay? And there's the falls there. Tell me if you're seeing that clearly. It's hard for me to know from this sun, okay? We walked to a set of steps going down. These were no ordinary steps. They were covered in moist debris, making them slippery. The steps were also rather narrow in length and width. Going down this steep incline, the steps had the tiniest, unsteady railing to hold on to. I breathe a deep sigh. It just keeps getting better and better, I thought to myself. I found myself getting frustrated. These stairs were so narrow and slippery, but I was so close to the falls. I slowly took each stair one by one, oh so carefully. I decided to go down sideways, crouching down and balancing myself on each step with my hand on one step and my foot resting on the next step. Kissy was right, in front of me, guiding my every step. We finally came to the bottom of the steps from what seemed like forever. The wind was blowing briskly and the mist from the falls kept us nice and damp. I put my backpack safe from the water, took off my dress and walked directly into the falls. So if you can see here is the steps, okay? And you can see how narrow and tiny those steps are and how steep the incline is to go down, okay? Nanny Falls is one mystical, marvelous, beautiful place, but it's not easy to get to, okay? There was an opening in the tall rock where the waterfall had the sun beaming directly through it, leaving the water warm and crystal clear. The falls were so amazing. It looked to go about 50 feet up. It was cascading down the rocks and mounting powerfully. I let my head dip under the water. As I swarmed toward the falls, the current was strong and required a lot of strength. I made my way to the center of the falls and swam up against the flow. I emerged with the powerful falls beating down on my head. I made sure to keep kicking my legs and stroking my arms as the strength of the falls would take me deep, deep down into the water. I laughed and screamed in delightful joy. Okay, so you can see me there. I finally reached the falls. And as you can see, I'm inside. Okay, going in to swim. Bless up ones and ones coming in. This is Jamaica Journal author April E. Diggs. I'm streaming live and direct here from Portland, Antonio. And right now, Portland, Jamaica, Port Antonio town. Sorry about that. Okay? And right now we're reading chapter 3 in the first release of the trilogy series, Jamaica Journal, In the Land of No Worries, Everything Ain't Irie. This is the first release. It is a trilogy series. Jamaica Journal 2, No Manners, No Respect, will be released soon. And then the last of the trilogy series, Jamaica Journal 3, Take Time. Okay? So please allow yourself to embark on this wonderful, marvelous journey. Okay? And right now we're reading out of chapter 3, which is titled Port Antonio. Okay? Jan, no, it's hot. All right, so hoping everyone is feeling good today. Okay, we're going to continue reading some more. Give thanks for the likes. Okay, let's see where we did leave off. I thought to myself, I then took a big gulp of the fresh, clear mineral water. I could feel the strong healing powers of the water. I ducked down in the water again, this time going behind the falls. I swam up on a rock that led to a line of dark hollowed caves in the rock behind the falls. I sat on the rock just outside of the caves and looked up at the powerful water thrusting down in front of me. I thought this was where many slaves came to hide and get their healing, just beyond the walls of the flowing falls. I felt the energy strong. I felt so blessed in the moment that I was in this time and space. Kissy yelled out to me, "You alright?" "Yeah man, me good," I yelled just beyond the water as I dove back in and swam like a mermaid against the falls some more. I finally tired myself and decided to sit on a huge rock lodged in the water to the left of the falls. I let the brisk mist hit my skin as the powerful wind from the crashing falls blew my locks. I looked up at the miraculous wonder and was so thankful to be here. Kissy stood across the way, sitting facing the sun on another huge rocks, smoking a spliff. He seemed to be in a meditation. This place, Nanny Falls, had that calming effect. It was Mama Nature, and you had no choice but to humble yourself in its presence. So see it here, this is Kissy. Okay, there is Kissy. I swam some more. We stayed at the falls for a couple more hours, rotating, swimming, and soaking up the sun. Make sure to dry off and put on some mosquito repellent. The mosquitoes more vicious and terrible when the sun's setting, Kissy said. I followed Kissy's instructions and made sure to soak up every bit of dampness with my jumbo beach towel. I then wrapped my wet locks with a towel at the top of my head like a turban. I pulled out my repellent and went to work, making sure to get every crevice. There was nothing worse than the discomfort of mosquito bites, and I was going to do everything to avoid that plight. I had already been bitten a couple of times when I got lax about applying my repellent, and the word Kissy used was sufficient. These bites definitely felt vicious. Greetings everyone, this is Empress April, author April E. Diggs, author of the Jamaica Journal series, okay? This is the first release in the trilogy series. You can go to the link in my bio, or you can go to www.apriledigs.com. I packed all my things into my backpack and we were once again on our way, starting with the steep incline of the simply small steps with limited side railing. This time going up the steps, Kissy stood behind me. I kneeled down and secured myself by putting my hands down on each step in front of me, then stepping up onto it. Slowly but surely, we made our way up those steps, back across the creek and down through the wild bamboo forest, out into the narrow path, barely carved out amongst the brush. We reached the end of the path with Kissy's bike in view, and the wonderful view of the Blue Mountains and Nanny Falls. I officially had been where my ancestors came to bathe, hide from their oppressors and heal. Brave Nanny, so much respect for our beloved ancestor, who went through so much and still made a way where there was no way. Kissy and I rode down the windy hill and headed back into the town. We decided to stop at a little bar on the way to have some hot conch soup. There was a nice breeze as the temperature started to cool just a bit. The bartender was a tall, slim, dark-skinned lady with a deep voice. She laughed hard as she talked to the elder men sitting at the bar. She played some nice reggae tunes while the people buzzed by in their cars and motorbikes. You need to go your yard. You need to go and greet your wife and go your bed, the bartender said to one of the elderly men. He put a scowl on his face as if those were the worst words he had ever heard. I looked upon the crew gathered at the bar. Bored older men hung out and drank until they just couldn't drink anymore, not wanting to go home to their wives. One of the men just kept catching my eye and began winking and flirting just a bit, trying to see what he could get. These men out here, shaking my head, still trying. I laughed to myself and respectfully made it clear that I was not interested. Kissy caught the whole thing and we both just laughed. We finished our soup and drink and made our way to the guest house. Everything felt so natural and mystical, and while I was having such a good time, my mind flashed back to the night before, where it had really gone bad. I vowed not to get myself in this type of situation again. Anyone could look and seem harmless, but that doesn't mean they are. We pulled up at the guest house. People were out in their yards and busy walking up and down the road. The bar was open. There were men there playing a game of dominoes. I was shocked when I caught the sight of Kevin. I thought surely he wouldn't show his face around here. But there he was with that smile, slamming down his dominoes. We caught eyes. I bowed my head in acknowledgement of him and quickly retired up the stairs through the iron gates. This was his territory, his stomping grounds. Why did I expect him not to be there? I gathered myself and my thoughts. I would be leaving tomorrow anyway, further into the hills of Portland. Kissy followed behind me. What make you move so fast? He asked. I need to go to the restroom, I said, which was true because as soon as the thought hit me, I had to go. When I came from the restroom, Revlin was there in the kitchen as if he had been waiting for me. Kissy was there as well. Me I go cook, Revlin said. He began to rustle around in the kitchen area. I opened the door of my room and put down my things. From my bedroom, kitchen, I could see Kevin and the men playing dominoes. It was amazing to see. There he was, as if nothing had ever happened. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. This was a guest house. How many women had been in this very room who have had the very same experience meeting Kevin? That's why he wasn't fazed. This was his life. How many of the girls and women he went with were open to having one-night stands or a freaky rendezvous? I felt for the smile and the trick that so many women fall for. For some reason, we can believe that we are so special that this man has saved all his special good treatment and attention just for you. That his life, when he met you, just began. But I'm glad I dodged that bullet. Greetings, ones and ones coming in. This is author April E. Diggs. I'm streaming live and direct from Portland Parish, Jamaica. And right now we're reading chapter 3 out of the first release in the trilogy series, Jamaica Journal in the Land of No Worries, Everything Ain't Irie. Okay? You can go to the link in my bio or you can go to www.aprilediggs.com. Okay? So right now we're reading chapter 3, which is a chapter solely dedicated to Port Antonio town and the Portland Parish. Okay? Whew, Jaja. Okay. Let's see, where did I leave off at? I was beginning to see that a lot of times as a woman traveler, men just think you are up for grabs, that you've come to sow some wild oats and go on a rampage sleeping around, that you are loose, wild, free, and that anything goes. It made it kind of hard when a lot of women did come here to Jamaica for that, but I was not one of them. I wasn't all the way sure exactly what I was coming for, but I was clear that being loose, wild, free, and sleeping with random men was certainly not one of them. I walked into the kitchen area to see what Revlin was cooking. Aki, saltfish, green banana, callaloo, and boiled dumplings were all so good. Soon ready, Revlin said proudly. All the aromas filled the air and made me feel so nice and warm inside. True Jamaican style. Bless it, bless it. There are party keeping in the town later, Kissy said. We can just walk there. Okay, I said excitedly. It's a black party keeping outside. We sat around, talked and laughed. It felt like family. There were truly no strangers in Jamaica. We ate our food, the ackee and saltfish, along with the boiled yam and dumplings. Everything so nice. The callaloo was so well seasoned and fresh. My body and spirit were filled with goodness. I was enjoying myself so much and reflecting on the day I had and the mystical time at the falls. It almost made me sad that tomorrow morning I would be leaving this place. Okay, so bless up everyone coming in. I just did read a little bit from chapter 3 in the book, okay? And make sure you go to the link in my bio or you can go to www.apriledigs.com to check for the first release in the trilogy series, okay? So I'm going to take a little break for now and we'll continue a next time on this one. Let's go take a little walk on the road for now, okay? Let's see what's going on the road. Oi, singer. Arrington, tell them your YouTube channel.
A YouTube channel?
Yes.
Arrington Brown.
Arrington Brown, big singer in Jamaica.
Yeah, check out my YouTube, girl.
No. All right, so we're just gonna take a little walk on the road right now. Make me go this way because yesterday I did show you the other way. Okay. All right, bless up ones and ones coming in. This is all right. Bless up ones and ones coming in. This is okay. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Well, brethren, I'm on a live, so me kind of distracted. Okay. Here. Yeah. All right. Well, brethren, I'm on a live, so me kind of distracted. Okay. Here. Yeah. So yes, this is a lovely, lovely neighborhood. It's just very peaceful and nice. That's why I love Portland so much, because it's peaceful and nice. So blessed up ones and ones coming in. This is author April E. Diggs streaming live from Portland Parish, Port Antonio town to be exact. And I'm just taking a little walk through the lane. Yeah, so you can see the settings. Okay, it's a lovely day. Probably in a little while I'm gonna go river. So I will carry you with me. Okay. Yeah, because you have to stay in some water because it's just too hot. You know? Hace mucho calor. Greetings, blessed love. How is everyone? Oi, Marcus. Yes, you just come in. You just missed. I was reading from the book, chapter 3. Yeah, but next time, okay? Yeah, so we're just walking through the town. Me not have nothing. Me not have nothing. Me not have nothing. Yeah, so you wanna come trouble me? Go on with your mad self. Stay far from me. So let me flip the camera around again so you could see the settings. Just help yourself, Marcus. Give thanks for the likes. Greetings, B Fountain. Yes, you just came in. You just missed. I was reading from chapter 3, which is currently where I'm actually at right now, Port Antonio town. So that's one of the chapters. And I was just reading from the book. And then I just taking a little break. And no, I'm not on Bound Brook. I'm over closer to the town, Marcus. Not Bound Brook. Bound Brook is more closer by Shanshai. And me is closer going, like, if I'm gonna go up by Moortown Top. The road going up to Moortown Top. Yeah. You're so sweet. Muy dulce, muy dulce. Muchos besos. Mua, mua. Gracias. Okay, so B Fountain, we're just walking through the town right now. Just walking through my lane. Okay. And just making you see what's going on today. And just my clothes up there on the line. Okay, so it's a lovely day here in JA. It did. Okay, so it's a lovely day here in JA. It did